The media and social media have recently been preoccupied with the incident of electronic fraud against a number of Egyptians. One of the electronic platforms is called FBC. See, a large number of Egyptians fell into its ropes. Some estimates are without 500,000 and some are as high as 1,000,000. Some estimates say the theft is 1,000,000 and some estimates raise to billions. Whatever the matter, we are not in the process of forensic analysis of the subject. This is in the hands of the competent authorities. But we are talking about people trying to reach quick gain with the least effort and the spread of this subject as a phenomenon that exists in society and not among some individuals. Platforms offer fictitious businesses. Businesses that can be very easy depending on network expansion, meaning customers who bring second and third customers and 40 networks of customers. In my hand, he has a simple job. On the other hand, if he pays, it means simple money, and after that, my hand has high profits on these funds. Profits can reach 30, some 140, some 100 hours, 45% from the amount he gave him at the beginning. What does the customer mean, or the customer he deals with? The reality is the profits she has are part of her money. For example, he pays £1,000 and gets 400 or 300 pounds profit in the first month. He's encouraged to pay again, then he pays £2,000 and gets around 600 in profit. Others dare and pay 10,000, 20,000, even up to 100,000 or more. We've heard of 1,000 being paid, of course, in high profit. All this money and the platform just disappears? And this talk, it also happens, not electronically. It happens even at very simple levels in some villages and some popular neighborhoods that are poor and collect a very large amount of money. Indeed, those who rely on a large number of people collect money because they have exaggerated profits in their hands. It is very much about the natural profits that a merchant can have and trades normally, and therefore people are proud of this issue and give him money in order to achieve quick profit with minimal effort. To analyze this phenomenon, I return to the Prophet's Sunnah. And I try to see some confrontational situations so that we can take lessons from them and learn and benefit from the event, because it became a phenomenon. And there are many people, of course, who were exposed to crises, and some people, by the way, who died from shocks, a nervous shock that remains on everyone with him, who collected 50,000, 60,000, becomes an elderly man or 6 elderly women who does not have the ability to work. He put all this money into this project. And after that, it appeared that it was a fraud. He put everything. Peggy has neurological trauma, and his breakdown can actually lead to death. A very dangerous topic. So I returned to the Sunnah of the Prophet to see what the story was and how we could deal with this event. I was surprised by the truth that I did not find in the Sunnah of the Prophet, in the life of the Prophet. May God bless him and grant him peace. Such matters of fraud were not like a phenomenon originally existing for us to deal with. No one takes money, people like that. There is no mass fraud like this. It is not possible to find in one theft incident that someone stole or one that someone stole, a purely individual incident in the entire society. There is a terrible behavioral change that has occurred in societies. What is the reason for this? First, the absence of honesty. I came to a point that did not exist in the days of the Prophet. May God bless him and grant him peace. People in general had this creation of honesty. It was most important and appreciated by some people as higher than the Prophet. May God bless him and grant him peace. The honest and trustworthy person has this trait very prominent. But in general, among the general population, honesty exists. Especially if Muslims deter their religion, meaning Sharia law and the texts on fraud and theft. And the origin of theft is one of the major sins that has a limit. So this used to prevent people, but with the progress of time, honesty is lost. Unfortunately, merchants. The few of them who have a trust are not much. This is not my word. These are good words. Ibn al-Yaman, may God be pleased with him, was a great companion of mine, a contemporary of the Prophet. May God bless him and grant him peace, and lived after the Prophet. May God bless him and grant him peace. When he lived after the Prophet, the period he lived recently, he noticed that honesty began to decrease among people. Imagine who, since the 1st century AH, this strange situation was narrated by a Muslim on the authority of Hudhaifa. after Hudhaifa mentioned the hadith on the authority of the Prophet, may God bless him and grant him peace, in raising honesty from the hearts of people at a stage. Time, he said. Hazif himself comments on the hadith and says, by God, a long time has come to me, and I don't care which of you pledged allegiance. I don't have a problem. I was in a time, the time of the Prophet, may God bless him and grant him peace, or the sad time after him. I used to go to the market and buy from any merchant. I don't have any problem. Everyone in the market deals honestly. He said, what do I care? Which one of you sold, even if he was a Muslim? His response to Islam means that Islam forbids him if he steals, and if otherwise, his response is to his courier. What does it mean for a Christian, a Jew, or anyone who trades in the Islamic State? He is not a Muslim. The state system prevents these thefts, and therefore he is not disciplined with the law. He does not believe in the prophetic message of Muhammad, may God bless him and grant him peace, but he has controls in the law that prevent him, so this prevents him. As for today, for him to be a hater of these words, it means that he is speaking at that stage. From the stages he was in this picture of dealing with people in a second stage, said Afma today, I was only selling to so-and-so entered the market knowing that honesty was only with so-and-so, and the rest of the market, all people could deceive him and defraud him, so he began to monitor the situation in this regard. This, 10 of me. From the 1st century, with the passage of time, honesty is deteriorating more and more. This is a point. I mean, unfortunately, we have begun to suffer from it. And we must remain careful about this issue. We teach our children and how do our societies cultivate honesty again in souls? Because this is something very, very dangerous.